Guys are like very animalistic, like just need to fucking fuck whatever the fuck they can fuck as much as they can fucking fuck them. It's just mind-blowing to me. Okay, for today's video, it's a little bit of a mini story time, but I don't want to talk about it too much because the person that it's about is still in my life, is still my friend, for lack of better words. So obviously I don't want to really talk about things that are super personal to me in full detail while they're still currently happening in my life. But it is a good segue for what I want to talk about, which is dating in college, just because I'm in college now and that's what's relatable most to me, but also just kind of in this current time and generation. Everyone on here knows I have a Tinder. I don't use Tinder seriously or take it seriously, but I did match with someone about a month ago who really caught my attention, which is fucking hard for me. Like, I am a very, very emotionless person. I don't know why I'm like this. Trust me, my parents all the time, people that are close to me are like, why do you bottle up your emotions? Why don't you express how you feel? Like, why is it so hard for you to even feel things at all? I don't know. This is just my personality. It's how I've always been. I'm sure it's always going to be how I am for the rest of my life. I am just not an emotional girl. So as someone who just doesn't really feel ever any type of emotion really for anything, let alone anyone, it's a really big deal to me if someone can get me to feel anything, even if it's just like the tiniest bit of like, maybe I like you, maybe I have a crush on you. Like, even that is huge to me. In the past 6 years, I have had real ass feelings, like real fucking legit feelings for 2 people in 6 years. So let that sink in. So I matched with this guy on Tinder and we started texting, Snapchatting, whatever, and I don't know, something about him really drew me in. Like, I was very interested, very intrigued, whatever. We have been on and off, like staying in touch, whatever, for like a month. So this past weekend, it's now Monday, I actually drove 9 fucking hours to a different state to meet him because I don't feel things often. So if I even feel the tiniest of something for you, like, okay, it seems worth it to me to put in that effort to meet you and see where things could go and see how we feel about each other in real life, whatever. So I met him. It was a really good weekend. He's a really cool guy. I have nothing negative to say about him. It was a very good experience. I'm happy that I met him. I'm sure we will continue to be in touch. I think we liked each other's company enough to keep like talking and, you know, just take it one day at a time, go with the flow. Like, maybe one day in a perfect world things will work out. Maybe we're just gonna be friends. I don't know. I can't tell the future. It also causes me literal anxiety to think about things like that. I'm a very like need to go with the flow type of person because, like I said, I'm pretty emotionless. So I don't want to start like jumping steps and thinking about what if and how things could be. Like, no, like that fucking freaks me out. So go with the flow, day by day thing. He's a cool guy, whatever. But when I was with him, he just made it very evident, like, to let me know that we aren't together, which is true, we aren't. So he has the right to do what he wants, which he does. I agree. He absolutely has the right to talk to whoever he wants, match with anyone he wants to on Tinder, have sex with other people if he wants to. Whatever the fuck he wants to do with other people, he has the right to do that because he's not my boyfriend, you know? And I understand that. I'm not naive. I'm not stupid. I have been fucked over enough times and had my heart broken enough to be more realistic about situations and not live in like a fantasy world or romanticize something that isn't realistic. So I'm an adult, I understand, and it's okay, no hard feelings for him for that, but I am a serial monogamist, which is really difficult to be in this generation. I think anyone can agree with me. If you're 16 to 30 years old, I think you will probably say that dating now sucks. Like, what even is a date? Like, when was the last time that you went on a date? That a guy invited you, like, to dinner and paid for you and you had, like, conversation for an hour and a half and got to know each other as people? Like, is that even a thing? Like, I went to meals with this guy this weekend, obviously, and he paid for me. He was, like, very respectful and nice and whatever. And, like, I didn't really consider them dates because, like, we'd already been talking for a month and we were just meeting and, like, you know, whatever. But that was, like, the closest I've had to dates in literally, like, 3 years. Not kidding, which is fucking sad. There is not many guys that are actually going to ask you on a date. Like, if a guy wants to hang out with you, that's considered a date. Like that, it's like, wow, he wants to hang out with me, like, yay. Like, what do you mean? I can hang out with anybody anytime. Like, are you trying to be my fucking bro, dude? Do you want to go play FIFA with me? It's like, what do you mean you want to hang out? Like, that's not the proper way to like formally get to know someone on like a deeper level. Like, that's just how it is now. And I don't know why that is, other than I think that we're just a generation that wants the most that they can have when they can get it. And if that means having sex with a bunch of people because that's what you want, that's what people are gonna do. And in order to do that, you can't be in a relationship unless you're a cheating sack of shit. So people just don't get into relationships at all because they just want to have everyone and everything at their fingertips. It's just the reality of the situation now. And people have to adapt to cultural and social changes over time. And for some reason, this is a societal change for the time being. It's honestly because of social media. When social media didn't exist, people didn't see Instagram models every day being like, wow, there are girls this hot in the world. Well, I don't want to be tied down to anyone like average because look at these people. Yeah, but regular people don't look like that. And Tinder, you have every single person that's around you accessible at your fingertips that you can go spend time with, have sex with, whatever. Literally. It's because of social media, honestly. I think social media is completely fucking up society, and that is a whole nother video. It is kind of shitty to like know the reality of the situation and know he's gonna be doing whatever and whoever he wants when I'm not like that. Like, even if I'm not dating you, if I like you and I've had sex with you and whatever, I feel dirty about myself if I'm like texting another guy or if I have sex with another guy, you know, like it just makes me feel bad about myself. And that's hard because we live in a world where you kind of have to suck it up and just be like that and deal with it. It's just amazing to me that this is what the world has come down to, is that relationships are hard to find and get into. And even if you find someone who's worth your time and you want to invest in them and give them your attention, if they don't want the same thing for whatever reason, you kind of just have to deal with it. And this isn't just this one guy or this one situation or whatever. This is like a nationwide thing for our generation. Being in college, I can guarantee you it is hard to find a boyfriend or girlfriend. People in college want to be able to have complete freedom, and that means sexually as well, which in order to do that, you cannot be dating someone, so no one wants to date. So if you're someone like me who wants to be monogamous to someone, whether there's a label attached or not, you're kind of fucked. I had a thing with a guy for a year and a half on and off. He's the ultimate fuckboy storytime video. And him and I were never officially together. He was never my boyfriend. He absolutely could do anything he wanted, and he did. I'm sure he was doing whatever the fuck he wanted. But in that whole time that we were hooking up and whatever, even though I knew we weren't together and I knew he was sleeping with other people and that I could do that too, I didn't. I just couldn't get myself to. Like, I liked him so much. I didn't want to have sex with someone else. I didn't want to give my time or attention to anyone else. Like, he was my fucking main priority. And that's how things should be. But they're not anymore. So if you're like me, you cannot go into college just expecting something to happen. It's like a fact that guys only want one thing. Guys are very sexually driven. Like, dudes are like literal animals. Like, yes, all humans are animals, but guys are like very animalistic. Like, just need to fucking fuck whatever the fuck they can fuck as much as they can fucking fuck them. It's fucking weird, but that's how guys are. If you go to college and you meet someone that you really like, do not immediately get invested. Be wary, go slow, proceed with caution, because the chance of this guy fucking you over and fucking other people is extremely high. Like, so high. Like, I promise you, you are not going to get through college without being absolutely shit on by someone that you thought actually liked you. It's also very common in college for someone to have sex with you and make themselves seem very interested in you and then literally never talk to you again. That's basically the most fucked up thing ever, but it happens all the time to everyone. I have 100% slept with someone before who has literally never spoken to me again. If I was a little baby freshman, I would be crying over that, but now that I'm bigger and have learned, I know that that is just the reality of life. And how sad is that? That I'm like so accustomed to this lifestyle, this like dating lifestyle that we live in now, that even if someone wants to talk to me for a period of time and really get to know me and make themselves seem very interested in me to a point that I feel comfortable enough to have sex with them, and then they just never want to talk to me again. Like, how am I comfortable with that? Like, how am I okay with that? Like, no wonder I'm so emotionless. Like, you just have to accept that that is fucking reality now, you know? So be fucking cautious and wary when you like someone. And also, guys lie. Guys say whatever the fuck they want to say to get you interested. I've had a guy literally tell me before that he liked me so much and only wanted to be with me while he was fucking other girls. Like, hello? My first and only ever really serious crazy ass ex-boyfriend, he was in love with me. He was genuinely in love with me. And he still stuck his dick in other people. Like, are you kidding me? It's just mind-blowing to me. If you're like me and you want to guard yourself, you just have to be aware of the reality of the situation. You can't be like fucking putting all your eggs in one basket, because the chance of that basket breaking is like a 97% chance. I just think the world is like so fucked up, and it's just shitty for someone like me who never ever fucking gives a shit. And then when I do meet someone that I'm like, wow, I think I kind of maybe give a shit, it doesn't even matter, because until me and that person are like fucking really dating, like FBO and shit, that person is gonna be doing whatever the fuck they want to. Like, people use the boyfriend girlfriend thing now as if it's the same as being engaged. It's like, I can't make them my girlfriend because then I can't have sex with other girls. Like, yeah, that's how it's supposed to be, buddy. You just can't expect a lot, and you have to be guarded, and you cannot be naive and immature about the reality of a situation just because a guy says he likes you, just because a guy is texting you every day, just because you've slept together, just because whatever. Until that guy is saying to you, I want you to be my girlfriend, let's put it on Facebook so the whole world knows that you are mine, then you can have no expectations. You cannot. You cannot be like, well, we've been texting for a month, so I thought you only wanted me. Or we had sex, so I thought you weren't going to have sex with anyone else. Or you said that you liked me, so I thought that meant that you didn't like anyone else and that you only liked me. Like, no. Talk is cheap. Like, actions speak louder than words. Like, don't be the girl that fucking believes some bullshit and then gets fucked over. Because it's gonna happen. I've lived and learned it. Like, I wasn't some like super tough cookie like my whole life. Like, my first and only serious ass boyfriend literally cheated on me with multiple people for no reason other than that he's a sack of shit. And then when we broke up, I came to college. I met this other guy that I had the thing with on and off for a year and a half. And even though I didn't have to be, I was extremely fucking loyal to him. He was like my number one priority when I was probably not even a priority at all to him. That guy just fucking verbally and emotionally abused me. Like, I have been through the ringer with guys to now know to take everything with a grain of salt, which is really all you can do. Anyone can say they like you. Anyone can stick their dick in you. Anyone can come and hang out at 11 p.m. Like, that doesn't mean anything. Don't assume things. You cannot assume things. Like, if you think he's only fucking you, you can't just think that. Like, you need to sit him down in person, not text message, and have a fucking honest adult conversation. Are we having sex with other people? How do you really feel about me? Where do you see this thing going? People don't fucking talk and have honest conversations anymore. Like, how the fuck are you ever gonna know the truth or see where something's gonna go if you're not even gonna fucking talk about how you feel? Yeah, it's kind of shitty that this guy from Tinder that I drove 9 hours to see made it very clear that regardless of how cool he might think I am or how attracted he is to me or the fact that we've had sex or the fact that I drove all that way for him, whatever, because of the situation, we obviously can't be together and he's gonna do what he wants to do, which is technically allowed. Even if I don't like that because of my personality and the fact that I prefer monogamy and that's just how I am, I can respect the fact that he told me to my face up front, like, this is how it's gonna be, and this is how it has to be, because I'm in the military, and I'm always gonna be far as fuck away from you, and that's just life. You have to be realistic about situations. You can't just meet someone and then romanticize this idea of what it could be like and how it could be with them. You can't romanticize reality if it's not realistic. You just need to understand that guys at this day and age, especially young guys, like 16 to 30, they don't care. The whole world's at their fingertips. Sluts are at their fingertips. There are so many girls that are willing to just fuck anyone. thanks to Tinder and whatever else and lack of morals and whatever the society has come to now. I don't fucking know. I don't get it. It is completely possible for someone to have sex with you and then not even talk to you again. It is completely possible for someone to tell you that they like you and not mean it. It is possible to talk to someone for months and months and for it to never ever go anywhere or be anything real. All of those things are possible. And when I didn't know that and didn't realize that and kept getting my heart stomped on and hated everyone and was super fucking sad, life was shitty. But now I understand the reality of the situation and I'm kind of like invincible. Like it would take a lot for someone to hurt me or hurt my feelings because I'm just understanding of the reality. I'm not romanticizing anything. I'm not hoping for anything. I'm not wishing for anything. I just am taking life one day at a time. And that is my best advice for anyone that is going to try and date in this day and age, or you will literally not make it out alive without like scarring the fuck out of your emotions and your heart. If you're in college, if you're about to go to college, just know that guys do not have your best interest at heart basically ever. And that's not to say that people can't be in relationships now, because I have friends that are in relationships, really good relationships, and that's awesome. You just have to find the right person for you, which is just way harder to do now than it was before because everyone just wants whatever they can have. And if there's Tinder and Instagram and all these ways you can meet all these different people and find all these people and whatever the fuck, then like, why would you want to settle down when you have all these choices right here? I don't know. I don't want to sit here and tell people to be guarded because I don't want people to be as emotionless as I am, but do protect yourself and don't be naive and really take everything guys say to you with a grain of salt, because guys will even tell you that they love you and they don't mean it at all. Sorry, that was kind of a rant, but I just feel like people don't get it. Don't say I didn't warn ya. Be safe out there, kids. Oh, and use a condom.